Hello and welcome to Celtic Rose Tarot. I hope this reading finds you well. Thank you so much for your time and energy today. As always, take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't, and let's get started. So I always like to start off with Heavenly Father, Divine Earth Mother, and all of our spirit guides and angels in between. Please show us what we might need to know today. So I do feel like this reading will be about the next 3 months that is going to be passed. Don't worry if you're falling upon this at a different time that it was posted. These readings are timeless. So whenever you see this, feel like it is a sign for the next 3 months ahead. So what do we need to know for the next 3 months ahead? Okay. Well, we're going to take that one because I definitely wanted to bounce out. Lovely. Okay. Got a mix of feelings at the minute. I'm going to take these as our future cards, and I'm going to take these as at the minute. So we've got Nine of Swords. I feel like you're drawn to this reading because you are not sure how life is going to unfold for you in the next 3 months. I feel like you're in a period of stagnant energy, a little bit of self-worry, maybe, focusing too much on your problems rather than trying to see a clear path out. Maybe you're being drawn to this because you just want to know whether the next 3 months is going to be still like this energy or not. Know that it is going to change. Definitely a little bit of, maybe you're taking that time for inner reflection, especially with the Hermit here. So we've got the Hermit, he has all the power to come back down this mountain. He's faced the challenges and, he's shining this light on his inner reflection, looking at things that maybe didn't work out in the past. You're being called to look within, but that time has to end. We can't always be sitting in inner reflection. We can't be, that only spills into self-doubt. If we over reflect or over take away from living life. He's still on the top of a mountain, but he's a wise being. He's gained all this wisdom and knowledge, and yet he has to share it with the world. If he stays on top of that mountain, he's not sharing it. So this is what you're kind of being called to do. Maybe you're over reflecting. Maybe you're sitting in a wee bit of self-doubt. This is a time to take all that you've learned and apply it to your day-to-day life. You've got the strength. Love the strength card. It is so bright and so full of opportunities. She's taming the inner voice within. She has the infinity sign up here, so all things are connected. Definitely she's got abundance around her. This orange, feeling like the orange is always about creativity, can be very much connected to that sacral chakra as well. That trusting who you are, seeing your inner light and stepping into some creativity. So I do feel like you're going to, all this self-reflection and the hermit mode that you feel like you've been at, over the next 3 months, that's all going to change. You're going to find that inner strength that you need to pull yourself out of it, pull yourself out of that overthinking, analyzing brain. You're going to find that inner strength to control, what you focus on. And then the only thing that's going to happen, the sun's going to come. So look at that, success and happiness is on its way. We're looking at this optimistic. We've got the, unicorn here of the innocence, seeing life as a playful thing, not overanalyzing, not worrying. Over the next 3 months, I feel like you're going to have this epiphany moment where you go okay, life is not here to be dwelled on. It's meant to be experienced and have fun with it. Step into something that's maybe a wee bit more playful. Are you being drawn to, at the minute, how life is going to unfold for you? This is taken saying to you to just maybe take on something like a creative project, or take on something that brings that light within back up to the surface. Do you feel like you need to draw that energy from the sacral chakra, create that creativeness in your mind, and do something for the fun of it? not to see how it works out. Do something for the fun. Just have fun with it. Even if it's something like taking up, some sort of sport, or maybe you've done a sport in the past and you kind of let that slide because you're kind of trying to be you're trying to control life at the minute. That's what I feel. And in the next 3 months, I feel like there's going to be an epiphany moment where you kind of go like, we don't have to take life too seriously. Even with reading cards, like most people get into tarot cards because it's fun, it's exciting, it's, we're trying to predict what's going to happen in the future, but it's all about fun. It's like, trying not to take it too seriously. If you take it too seriously, you're not going to get the answers. And this is like, that's definitely what the energy I'm feeling for the next 3 months for you. No debate. So I feel like we're on track with that. So there's no debate in this situation. You don't need to do anything to be worthy. You're valuable regardless of your circumstances. You always have been and always will be. It is not up for debate. So close. Maybe we're debating with ourselves. Maybe we're, overanalyzing things. And this is saying there is no debate. Whatever circumstance you're in the minute, maybe it's not the best circumstance, it is fine. It's saying to you, like, find that tiny little glimmer of hope that you can focus on something else. What else? There is a deeper world. Don't push or force your way through life, which is so fitting. Finding balance, even in the darkest of times, will open your heart to the depth of compassion in everyday moments. Okay, so again, I feel like we're trying to control a lot of things, and you will find the inner strength just to step aside from that and find balance. Open your heart, do something from your heart instead of doing it with the analytical mind. Follow your heart path a little bit more and kind of step into that. I think, like, find something fun. If you're full of worry, over reflection, self doubt, and you're really struggling, do something just for the fun of it and just see how that goes. It doesn't have to bring almighty abundance and, all the things in the world that you're hoping for. Maybe just taking that step to just doing something for you for fun. And hopefully that will bring, a change of mind for you. Preserve security, forethought, and thrift. So definitely this forethought idea, maybe you're trying to think into the future far too much. And again, being called to, there is a deeper meaning to everything. And you are in dark times, still divinely loved and protected. Healthy patterns and early growth. So I do feel like even with these two cards, it is a little bit of, we're at that time of inner reflection. We're at that time of staying still. But in the next 3 months, it will change. So don't feel like you're stuck in this forever, because you're definitely not. And I do feel like there is good energy on the horizon for you. I just feel like you need to find something that you love and enjoy. Okay. What else have we got? Embrace healing. Healing is taking place in your life right now. Allow it to bring positive transformation. How fitting. So definitely this energy of, there's no debate that you are in a period of inner reflection, and maybe we are just waiting for that aha moment where you're like, okay, life's going to get better. You're healing. 1414, maybe keep an eye out for that angel number. Keep an eye for the signs. Maybe ask your angels, can you send me that number, so that you know that you're on that right path. Love and connection. Love surrounds you, and open your heart to give and receive love abundantly in your future. So again, we did just say, it's time to open your heart to the depth of compassion in everyday moments. Right now, you may not be feeling the sunshine, the happiness, the good things, but this is saying you are divinely loved by your angels, by your guides. They all want you to succeed. They don't want you to self-dwell. Shall we pull out one more? Let's pull out one more. Okay. What's our last card for this reading? You will never have this day again, so make it count. Interesting. Sometimes we want to just sit and self wallow and self pity and, in a reflection for too long. And this is saying you will never have this day again, so make it count. Even if you don't feel like it, it is time to step into finding that inner strength. And if we make those small actions every day, like success and happiness will come. I think you're definitely being called to love yourself a little bit more. And in the next 3 months, I do think that you're going to have that epiphany moment where life is not as serious as we make it. And please focus on the light and the love that you have within yourself. And more of that will come to you. Okay, interesting. Hopefully that resonates with some of you. Yeah, hope to see you in another reading.